What's up, everybody? Welcome back to LettermenRow.com. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Bermanology. I am joined once more by Evan Pryor, Ohio State 2021 commitment and running back. Evan, thanks for taking some time to join the show. The last time we talked, it's been almost 5 months to the day now since since we were in North Carolina and you committed. The world has kind of changed a bit since then. How are you holding up?
I'm good. Just been training. Staying out the way, staying safe.
You know, what has it done to you, really? I mean, the COVID-19, we'll start there, I guess. What has that done to your preparation for your senior season? How did it change what you had to do? And oddly enough, do you think it's been a good thing for you? Because a lot of guys I've talked to have actually think that they've been able to focus more on preparation for senior season in college football because of it.
Yeah, it's been challenging, because you train by yourself obviously in the off season, but another big part of you having good seasons is what you do with your team and the chemistry. So hopefully we can get back with our team soon.
You have had a chance, saw it on the old interwebs recently, a chance to get out and compete in some events there in North Carolina against other players. Have you seen the progress that you would have liked to have seen from yourself? I mean, what has been the takeaway this summer?
Just like I said, I feel like I've done everything I've wanted to do in terms of quarantine and growing and becoming a better player. And I feel like I'm in a great spot right now to just be able to go anywhere and compete and play. And even if the season started tomorrow, I think I'd be fine.
In North Carolina, they have not yet announced what the plans are, correct?
Yeah, no, not yet. Actually, this morning they pushed the date back even further, so we don't know.
I mean, does that make it almost impossible for guys like you to figure out what to do? I mean, you're not only talking about, in some cases, your senior season of football, but where you're going to live, how it affects your college enrollment. Like, what would you like to see changed or done here to make it easier for you guys?
Just give us, a straightforward answer. I think just keeping pushing the date back isn't really helping anybody. I think it should be either a yes or no answer. Because if it's a no, there are a lot of guys depending on their senior, to get to college. So if no, I feel like we should be informed of that so guys can go elsewhere and try to get on the field. But on my behalf, though, I feel if we don't have a season and I don't get to play, it'll be sad or wouldn't be good. But at the same time, I just prepare and get ready to be on.
Now, obviously, your plan is to enroll early at Ohio State, correct?
Yeah.
What would you do? I mean, if there's no football in North Carolina, like Travion Henderson, he's a state north of you. He lost his senior season. He's staying home and just working towards early enrollment. You guys will obviously enroll together. Do you have a plan? Have you started to really think about what you would do with North Carolina? Is there somewhere else you'd go? Would you transfer? Would you just stay home? What do you think you would do?
If the season were to be canceled, and everything lined up how I wanted to line up, going to Arizona and playing wouldn't be a bad idea. My grandma lives down there, and I got friends down there who I used to play with out in North Carolina. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but it also wouldn't be a bad idea to just train for these last 5 months, take care of my body, and be ready to go in January.
In the last 5 months since you did commit, I mean, how is the relationship with Ohio State? You've become a very vocal leader in the class. You were one of the driving forces in the commitment of both Travion Henderson, Jordan Hancock. There's a lot of these guys that you've been personally involved in recruiting. How are you feeling about the class as it stands and your relationship with Ohio State?
Class, yeah, we're definitely set up to be one of the better ones. I feel like when it all comes together, we'll be one of the best teams Ohio State has seen. Just the bond we've got, with the coaches, but also with the recruits, and we know what everyone's capable of. We're just a great group of guys.
It's kind of wild, like, thinking about it, because when we were on the campus there in North Carolina visiting you were supposed to go to Ohio State the next week. And here we are 5 months later. Nobody's been allowed to visit anywhere since. Nobody's still allowed to visit. The likelihood is the NCAA will continue to punt the ball down the road, just like most of these high school associations are doing. Do you feel like it's hurt you in any way, like the relationships, or have you guys been able to make it work regardless?
Yeah, no, we've been able to make it work. We've been doing like little fun Zoom calls or whatever, with the whole class and coaching staff. So we've made it work.
Is there anything that you can tell us about the class that maybe isn't common knowledge? Like, what do you guys do? And I mean, is it Fortnite? Is it Madden? What do you guys do when you're all hanging out?
A lot of the guys, don't really. Some guys aren't really video game guys, but we've got a good majority of us have been on the game together. Just to chop it up and talk football, talk life. So, but hopefully for those guys who don't play the game in our group, we could meet up soon.
Has there been a continued push from North Carolina to get you to stay home? I mean, how have other schools reacted since you committed back in March? Is there still that effort, or have they all kind of moved on?
Yeah, no, there's definitely been an effort. I haven't really talked to North Carolina much since I committed. But I know Alabama and Penn State they've been on me pretty hard ever since I committed. So
I'm going to take on the role of a coach from another school here. Evan, why would you want to go play at Ohio State when they already have Travion with you? Is that the common pitch? Is that the word? I mean, how do you respond to that?
Yeah, when coaches say that, it just kind of makes them look stupid. Because at that point there, you're just basically calling me a two. You're basically saying I can't compete with that guy. And that's not how I feel. So when they pitch me that, it's in the opposite direction, which they probably want to go towards. But I've told every coach, like I've told Coach Alfred, like I've told Coach Day, it's gonna be competition anywhere you go. So I just feel like Ohio State is the best place for me in general.
You and Travion, I mean, you two are using this as an opportunity to make each other better, it seems like.
Yeah, most definitely. It's a iron sharp as iron type deal.
I'm looking at, and one of the things I've been trying to do lately is read more about the comparisons for players like yourself. And the 247 Sports comparison for you is Damian Harris, who was in Ohio State. Ohio State had a very good shot at landing before he went to Alabama. Have you seen your game like really molded by any one player that you've watched in the last handful of years? Who do you watch and are like, man, that's what I want to be like?
Yeah, definitely not Damian Harris, but Dalvin Cook. I think I watch his highlights a lot. I feel like he's a back guy I resemble.
Let me ask you, I'm going to turn the focus here a little bit, Evan. You had made a little bit of news earlier this summer because there was some discussion about potentially not playing your senior year at William Amos Huff because of some racial issues that you felt needed addressed in the school. And I just would rather just go straight to the source and ask you about it. How has that issue been resolved? How are you feeling now? I mean, is that something that you feel like your school is making progress with?
Yeah, no, they definitely made a lot of progress. Curtis Neal and I, he's a defensive tackle that goes to our school. We were two athletes, who spoke out about it and, brought light to the issue. And, we've met with the student board and administration around CMS, about fixing it and what can we do to hold these people who are out here making these racial slurs accountable. So here lately, it hasn't been happening as much as it usually has. And I feel like, down the line, it's getting stronger and stronger to the point where, these kids will fear, just like people fear stealing and getting in trouble. Maybe these people will fear saying racial slurs and getting in trouble.
I talked to a handful of guys in your class, when the summer started and everything kind of, I don't want to say caught fire, but the world sort of changed a little bit as far as where things are being focused. And to a man, everybody, Kyle McCord on down, basically said that they felt like their responsibility with the platform that you have is to speak up. I mean, do you feel like that's something you have to do? Or is it something that this just happened to be the right time because of everything that was going on?
Yeah, I definitely feel that's something you have to do, because you're put in a position, like that, not to only play sports, but you see athletes all around the world, whether it's LeBron James or anybody else, use their platform to just try to impact the world in general, and that should be every kid's goal, not to just impact the sports world, but just make a lasting impact and wherever you can.
Well, I mean, shifting gears again. First of all, I'm sorry you have to even deal with that kind of stuff, but let's focus here on ending out this class and making an impact in that way. Who's left on the board in your mind? Like, I know you're still working hard on Emeka Ibuka. I assume that you've been talking to Tristan Lee a little bit. Where does this class go from here, and how do you finish? Give me a prediction. I'm going to hold you to it. No matter what, you are stuck. If this doesn't happen, it's your fault. Go.
All right. So I feel like we do land both Tristan and Emeka. That's just how I feel right now. I know Jalen Davis. We've been in touch with him. I don't know. I haven't really talked to him like that. I just know he's on the board. I think the coaching staff is in touch with him. But those are the main guys, that we've been focused on. I know a lot of us lately have been, turned to help out the 22 class, because we don't have not too many spots left in 2021.
Right.
We need. So besides those three guys, I feel like that's it. We should just finish up with those guys.
How important is it to you to finish as the number one class in the country? Is that like something you guys talk about? I know it doesn't really matter, but you want to win everything you do. How important is it to finish that way?
Yeah, very important. We got a squad full of competitors. We see other classes getting commitments and stuff. We just keep our head down, keep grinding, try to go get these guys. That'll make us better in the long run.
I'm not going to put you on the spot again, but I'm curious, when you guys in your class see commitments from other classes around the country that you may end up being rivals with one day, when you see them on Twitter talking about how they're going to, beat Ohio State, how they're going to change things, is it hard to just stay quiet, or do you is that part of what makes you different, do you think?
Yeah, talk is cheap. We got some guys in our class, they like to do a lot of the Twitter beefing, but we've been told to calm down on that. But we just it doesn't bother us like that. We see it, but we know at some point we're gonna have to line it up, put on pads, and play football. So it is what it is.
Well, Evan, I hope you get a chance to put on pads and play football here in the next few weeks. I'm sure this summer has been a challenge for you, but thanks for coming on Bermanology once again to update everyone on what you're doing and how things are going. So we'll let you get out of here on that note. That is Evan Pryor, Ohio State 2021 running back commit. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This has been Bermanology. Thanks for watching, and we will talk to you next week.